What are you drinking? The champagne?
I'm starting with the champagne.
my
So,
God.
a couple things I want you to think about when you taste them together is weight. First and foremost, weight.
Okay.
Does the Zab overpower the champagne or vice versa? Or do they have a relative equal weight?
I think they sat together in class and exchanged notes for the test.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable,
That's-
the even weight, right?
Yeah, that's very even.
So you think of champagne being like elevated and ephemeral and lifted, but this style has such a dense core to it that it actually stands up to the weight of this meat, and it doesn't get.
Dude, honestly, like, I mean, I'm gonna
Real.
try some more, but
Yeah.
I'm still tasting a little bit more of the champagne than I am the beef itself after, right? Because you get some of that lingering goodiness, right? Who needs more salt? Do I need more salt?
Man. Dude, that is so good.
It's so amazing.
And you know what's crazy too is that we sell that piece of meat in the meat case for what, like $17 probably? 17 under
It's
20
not-
bucks.
it's
Like
not crazy.
one of those chunks is under 20 bucks.
It's not crazy.
I mean, that's an incredible experience for
You go to a steakhouse, that would be like
that'd be 70,
So-
80.
yeah.
Drop
minimum,
of this
yeah.
right here is like $55
At least.
Yeah.
Oh, at
Right.
least.
with
Excuse
some
my
dots
reach,
of
sorry.
Yeah, do it.
balsamic drizzle. You know?
Oh, God. No, thanks.
Like if I ask for just salt, can you take off 20 bucks?
Yeah, keep your pepper, sucker.
No.
That's crazy. That was just salt. That's no pepper. That's just salt.
That's how I like to roll, dude. I really do. And it's like you said, like we're gonna taste different wines. We're gonna do different things to the meat. We're gonna choose different selections of the meat. We're gonna choose, you know, fattiness or whatever we're gonna do. We're gonna base it around the wine, right? So we're trying to balance the acidity to fattiness, or if we are going to give it that home run shot, we're gonna nail how much spice and everything else that needs to be on that steak to marry with the beautiful nuances like coming out of this guy. There's so many things going on there to where
What's cool about
talk about
this
this guy.
is, and this is where you can really dial in those nuances, is with your additions for the
Exactly.
filet. So like resinous herbs like rosemary, thyme, things like that can work really well with something that is rich and savory and unctuous like this. Next one, the white Rioja. Or if you wanted something a little more delicate, say you wanted to do like maybe a little bit less oxidative style of champagne that was a little bit more lifted, you could do something like tarragon or Chervil or something that's not quite
Or
as
Bernays.
like, or yeah, it's something not quite as like as resinous, as powerful as thyme or rosemary or something like that.
Okay.
So there's ways to use the same base, but dial in the nuances around it. You know. Yeah.
Man,
it's
this one.
funny.
Yeah, this one is like so different from like when you say unctuous, I'm smelling. I'm like trying to figure out what those smells are, and
Yeah.
unctuous like you say mushrooms. That's
Oh, absolutely.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Roasted-
I'm like what
roasted
am I
mushrooms?
smelling?
Yeah.
Like I didn't really get it until you said that.
I love that you say unctuous because it's one of my favorite descriptors. Because to me, it's like it even gives you like when I really drink a big wine, a heavy hitter, I call it chewy,
Yep.
right? Because
Yeah.
it's almost like you're picking up so many different things like leather and toastiness and a little maybe some char in there or smoke or something
Yeah.
like that. Like to the point where you're not just going and trying to aerate it. You're like, oh my god, like it's so luscious.
Yeah.
Right, and there are pieces of meat out there too. Like you eat, like, say our beef ribs, right? You ever had the
yeah.
beef rib on Friday night
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
God,
It's
dude,
insane.
it's just nuts.
That'll take you down.
It will.
I would argue that because of this, the fat to protein ratio
Okay.
is so much greater, right? In a cut like this. I mean, you saw it raw, and you're seeing it now, right?
Yeah.
That actually these wines are more appropriate than Cabernet would be, honestly. I think Cabernet is going to work
1000%
better
agree.
when you have that tannin matched with a higher protein ratio in the steak. But when you have all this fat, you need something that's refreshing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so I think that these wines actually work better than Cabernet.
These are so refreshing. This one is this middle one right here. Wow.
I love the champagne, but I think this, so far is the winner.